Okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the April 16th Illinois County Board of Commissioners Accounts Payable Committee meeting. Commissioner Martis is on his way here from the Road Commission. He'll be here briefly, but we'll get started here. And so I would ask for approval of the minutes of April 2nd, 2026.
So moved.
I have a motion by Administrator Murphy, and I'll support that. Are there any additions or corrections?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Those minutes are approved of April 2nd, and now we'll go to the accounts payable run, and we'll start with the run on 4/7/26. Questions? Okay, I'll start. On page 1, we have an airport authority. It looks like a legal bill from Colin McKinney and is that for properties that we're taking in?
You get it? It is not for that. There was some issues with hangars and tenants, and they used attorney Randy Barker for that particular function. So that was an invoice from him.
And do they have their own legal fund, or do they do it out of general?
Comes out of theirs. It comes out of the airport budget. Because airport budget is a non-general fund. And so it would come out of theirs rather than our general fund budget.
Right. Building and grounds, Free Spear detention windows, that's all part of the grant that we're moving forward with on detention.
So under the grant, we are replacing some of the detention, the old DT detention windows. However, we approved under the CIP that grant is only touching certain rooms. So under the CIP for 2026, we also had windows to be replaced
Okay.
for that second part of the detention area.
All right.
So we're doing both currently, some under the grant, some under the CIP or the capital fund.
And Commissioner Martis will be joining us now. So, and how are we on completion on that? Does it get pretty close?
Unfortunately, the locks are not working in the old or existing detention. So we're waiting on different locks. So it's going to be a little bit longer than we originally thought.
Okay. Thank you. So we're on page 4/7 running, Kevin. And I started out, but if you have any questions, go ahead. I just had a question on the detention windows.
I had none on the first run.
Okay. Can you just tell me what BFP, building and grounds, we had a number of BFP testings. What's BFP?
Oh, that's backflow preventer.
What?
Backflow preventer.
So the city of Adrian, every so often it requires the facilities to have their backflow preventers tested. That a backflow preventer basically prevents sewage, gray water from backing up into the building. And so building and grounds had to make sure that all of those were tested and then send appropriate proof of that testing back to the city of Adrian.
Gotcha. And you knew that from construction and city, huh?
Well, and this morning I asked ChatGPT.
Oh, you cheated on me. I didn't think about that. I should have done that. Page 4. I guess I don't understand the 1315 Michigan clerks. I'm sure it's a state thing, but it says driver's license clearance, but then it says juror comp. I guess I didn't understand that for $621.
I'm not exactly sure what the juror comp is regarding there. However, these are all funds that we have taken in, and a portion of that goes to different buckets at the state. I can reach out to the clerk's office to clarify on the juror comp portion, but I believe the driver's license clearance is.
So does that just for my information, does that just mean like it's for driver's license clearance, but it goes into a juror comp pool for paying jurors? Does anybody? We don't know, huh? Okay.
I am unclear on that also. So we would, I don't know if that's just a description,
Yeah.
this print, or if there's something to do with both of those things on that one line item. So we can get a better handle on that and,
Okay, it's no
Send you
big,
an
it's
email on it.
$621, but it'd just be nice to, okay,
yeah.
let me know. Department on Aging, we had a fuel charge. Oh, what's that for? Or,
The Department on Aging has a company vehicle they use,
oh, okay, and,
or they have a few. This is just basically fuel card charge, or several fuel card charges.
okay. For their, yeah, oh, yeah, we do have that van, okay. So on page 5, information technology, there are a number of IT ones. They're small, they're not much, but they're for Colfax for clerks and Colfax for Jennifer Frost. What is Colfax?
Kofax is similar to Adobe Acrobat. It's for
Oh.
PDF files.
Okay. Let's fire a little more internet savvy. I'd known that, right? And then on IT too, I see there's a big expense for computers, 29,000, 15,000, 11,000. Do we have a regular replacement program for those? And, okay,
Yeah, it's I know we're all shaking our heads, but for the people at home, we have if you remember, the IT division of the capital fund, there is annually about $60,000 that goes into the replacement of all of our laptops, computers, that sort of thing, and they're on like a 5-year rotation. So the goal is that every 5 years that all of the county issued laptops will be, or desk computers will be replaced.
okay. Yeah, probably a good idea. Sheriff's Department had a Tahoe charge with Greg Bell for like some $5,000.
Yes, I believe this was repair for some front end damage.
Oh, like they hit a deer or something?
I'm not certain
Abandoned.
exactly what that was.
Or deployed the pit procedure, which is my favorite.
Yeah. I think we had one of those. Huh.
No.
And I take it on Sheriff's Department jail for John Rosenbrock, that meals for academy training are probably more than one meal.
Yes, that's several, or a couple weeks at least.
Okay, that's all I had for that.
Actually, I had one on this one. As I told you, my dog ate my first version of this. and,
Actually, we saw the proof of that.
I presume in the treasurer's office, page 9, this $271,000 real estate transfer tax. I guess just tell me a little more. Is that just forwarding our portion to the state, or?
Yes, this is, well, forwarding the state's portion to the state. We collect the taxes, and then again, each of those go into different buckets
Okay, and then the next,
first.
sure, then the next one for 226,000, that's maybe the one I was thinking of. It's Michigan Tax Tribunal. Is there something that we failed to prevail there, or?
That one I'm not sure of. I'm not aware of a huge payout, so I will need to check with Ms. Van Dyke and find out. Unless, are you aware of anything, Dan?
Big number. That's all I had.
And Kim and I can attest for you that the real estate tax is on Mac's agenda every year, and trying to get those straightened out and not given to the state, so.
Well, and not to go off into my personal hobby horse, but as the amount of renewable energy development advances in the county, we will see more time at the tax tribunal, because at least with wind development, the typical role is for them to challenge the valuation of each and individual turbine one at a time at the tax tribunal, and they extend that out for years, so.
Good to know. Okay, we're going to the run on 4:15. Commissioner Martis, do you have anything there on?
Yeah, on page 3 for the administration buildings and grounds, the $21,000 for the padded cell repair.
I got that one.
Yeah, was that an abnormal incident or was that a routine replacement?
If you recall, that was actually on the capital improvement plan for 2026. That went to physical resources last month. I was actually surprised how quickly it was completed as well. So that was already slated for the capital improvement plan for 2026.
Oh, no heroic activity, just normal,
Just normal.
mundane
Yep.
replacement. I was hoping for the former.
Sorry.
I need a little drama in these meetings.
Well, let me, how often do we have to do that?
I'm not absolutely sure on that. I will tell you, it hasn't been done since I have been here. I don't know if
Okay.
you recall the last time, but
Yeah, I think that overall, that was, that was part of the steps that the current captain at the jail is taking and trying to take care of all the maintenance items that need to be addressed. And I know that they will do periodic maybe repairs in the event that there is some damage done. But to have the entire thing redone as we did this time, it has not been done. And I don't know when the last time was. It's been a long time.
My other one was on page 15, prosecuting attorney's office. I see we had a summer intern program payment of $10,930. Just wondering what the backstory on that.
Yes, we make a payment to, is it Pam?
Yep.
Yes, we make a payment to Pam, to provide, interns for us, for obviously the benefit of the interns, but as well as assisting with the prosecutor's office. We go through Pam because, that doesn't put them on our payroll. Simply
Okay, understood.
pay through the,
Got it. That's all I had on that one.
I've got one. This may be for the deputy administrator since she was over there, but whoever wants to jump in, but tell me a little bit about the All Rise Conference in the Circuit Court area. So since we're spending some $10,000 for conferences there.
I'm technically unfamiliar with All Rise, but I would make the assumption it could be due to the specialty courts that they are attending. But I'm not familiar with the All Rise Conference.
Anybody else familiar with that? It just happened to be a very expensive one that stood out. I mean, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flights and $6,000 fee for attending, and that's an expensive conference. As long as it's paying for itself, it's fine with me. I'm good with conferences. It's just, that happened to be a very expensive.
Okay. Sorry for that. I wanted to have, Mr. Gilbert take a look at the account number behind those. And that would tell me what that was. And that, it was for the specialty courts. In particular, this one was the adult treatment court. And so those are typically partially, if not fully refundable through the grant that we get to, fund those specialty courts.
That makes me feel much better.
Yep.
Thank you.
I do want to point out, though, I think if you looked at this week's run, it was a very long one, and I think Harvey may have ate a couple of your pages, Commissioner Vardis. But there were a lot of conferences, hotels, conference fees, registrations, flights, included in this one. I mean, it took me aback a little bit, but the unfortunate part is a lot of the conferences that our employees need to go to are annual conferences with certain organizations, and those aren't always located here in the state of Michigan, which is unfortunate because then we do have those extra costs associated with getting our employees there. However, the information that they're bringing back, we are finding to be very good information and is helpful to the county overall. So we won't see these kind of entries every month of the year, but this time of the year, there's quite a few, usually spring and then again in fall, you'll see a lot of conference fees come through.
Well, thank you for that. And I think everyone knows I'm a firm believer in these conferences and networking with other people. I think it saves the county a lot of money and a lot of things we find out, as long as we know that they're going to these things and creating knowledgeable information to bring back for the county that saves us money long-term. But, I am a firm believer in going to these, so. Okay, on page 11, health promotions, the marijuana outreach supplies was almost $3,000. Is that some sort of advertising or something?
yes, that's different, advertising things to basically get knowledge out there about either responsible use of marijuana, keeping it away from children, or the dangers of.
Every year, the health department has a campaign on the use of marijuana, or as was just stated, keeping it safe. This year, and I also want to make a comment, this is also grant funded as they go through that program. But this year's focus is on women who are with child and what the use of marijuana the impact that it could have on them and their unborn child. So I know that Miss Ambrose has been working with them and trying to get some of that information out.
Good, great, thank you. On page 12, we haven't had an increase from Jackson County on the rent for the morgue. That's just that $28,000, or did we?
No, well, this is the 2026 rental rate. However, that is for, I believe, 3 months. And it also includes the Hillsdale County's portion, in which is then billed back to Hillsdale County. So I think in all ours is 6,000 something and theirs is, I think, 3,000 something per
Okay.
month. So there is a division there.
Okay. I remembered something about that. I just wanted to. 16. First bank card on 16, page 16, we had a hotel stay for the medical examiners conference in March. That's for our employee, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's for our employee.
And the public defenders, kind of interesting, on their conferences. Some, hotel rooms are $300, some are $400. Are those all the same conference, and why would they all be different prices?
I do believe that the public defender went to 2 conferences. And there may be different dates that they attended those conference. I'll have to look specifically through each one before I can give you that exact answer, but I do believe it is at least 2 different conferences.
Okay, and so the sheriff's department, when they went, for their hotels at $500, is that more than one night, or is that one night rate? $519 a room?
So, I'm not exactly sure which hotel stay we're looking at. We did have, hotels for the academy, which is for the entire week. And I
Yeah, that's
believe we
what-
had that twice.
Okay, it's for a whole week, okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say it's a little, must be a nice place, okay.
Mhm.
If it's for a whole week, I understand. Well, and then there's one that stood out for Rosenbrock for $1,300. That's on page 19. Like the second item, 1,307.
And there's a credit back for it too.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, credit. I didn't see that. Thank you. It's been an error. Oh, and this is just a question, for the administrator, not a problem, but VitaCore Health. Do we know is our hospital bill getting paid? Have we ever heard more about that from?
The last I knew is the ProMedica invoice, the outstanding invoices had been paid by the provider. And that if there were still any outstanding amounts, they were to get back to the jail captain so that he could get that taken care of.
Okay.
And I have not heard anything further. So my assumption is that we are good. I also know that as a result of this most recent incident, I guess you can call it, the jail captain is working with his staff with Vital Core and indicating that he wants copies of every single invoice and showing that the Vital Core has paid any of those, whether they're dental bills, hospital bills, anytime we had to take an inmate out for some sort of service that they would be paying for. He wanted to make sure that he wanted to see the invoice as well as the follow-up payment to assure that the invoice has been properly taken care of.
Right.
So he is putting a process in place to make sure that happens.
Right. Are you aware of it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Anybody else? Any other questions on either of those runs? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to pay the vouchers.
So move.
Support.
A motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Administrator Murphy. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carried. Other business to bring before accounts payable. No public here for public comment, so a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So move.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Administrator Murphy. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. We're adjourned.